person that I told
So Devin, what about first told you I was gonna do you guys?
about doing the show. So let's.
Can you hear me, Devin?
I couldn't hear you.
We're getting feedback. Like it sounds like
Yeah.
you're talking, and then you have your computer and phone up or something.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's better.
Okay. All right. So what I was saying was, I want to talk about what you guys thought about when I first asked you to be a part of the show. So Delvin, you were the first person that I talked to about it. What were your thoughts?
To be honest, I was like, absolutely not. um, Particularly because and even to this day, I still think my life is pretty boring. So I didn't know where you were going to pull footage from. And of course, we started talking about the Men Project and all of that. But again,
You go.
I still thought, I was like, if you can pull some footage, then God bless you.
You guys hear him? Can you guys hear Delvin? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
heard
him. I can hear him. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear
I
him.
can't hear him.
I don't hear anything.
Something's wrong with your phone.
Do this. So let's do this. Everybody mute yourselves until you got to come on.
I heard
So
Delvin
everybody hit
started
mute.
talking, but I couldn't hear any questions.
It's giving me Android.
Everybody
so I can't help you in that department.
Did everybody hit mute on their phones?
Yeah.
All right. So where is Delvin?
I'm here. Oh Lord, Dream Nation left the call.
So,
All right, so Delvin answered the question. So Javis, what did you think when you first got the call?
All right, guys. I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. I don't know what happened, but I had to switch out real quick. All right. So everybody's on now?
Yeah. Javis, are you on? Are you on mute?
All right. So can everybody mute your phone until I ask you a question?
Can you hear me now?
You guys got that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was like kind of not so much as afraid, but just like not really sure I wanted people in my personal business, my day to day. You know, because
Everybody go
sometimes
on mute.
day to day can be kind of strange and crazy, unpredictable. I definitely wanted to expose that I was doing music, but you know, besides that, I didn't really want people in my house or in my personal life. So it was kind of, I was kind of fearful. It was frightening at first.
Cool. Who else? Did Nathan answer? Nathan, you want to answer that too? Who
Android.
else is there? Nathan, Marion.
Demarion. I think we all have similarities when it came down to it. I was the exact same way. I mean, I guess people hit me up every so often doing stuff like that, and I definitely did my research. But it was just like, I still don't think I was personal enough. But yeah, we'll see as time go on. But I felt the same way. Did you get my answer? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I don't know if it's my connection, but like your connection sounds bad, but I can hear some of what you were saying.
Yeah, I heard you.
I can hear you.
Okay. I think it's Cam.
So, what is one? Go first.
What did you say?
Go again, Cam.
All right, it might be my fault, but so what did you think of the first episode, Jamal?
I thought the first episode was amazing. I thought it was actually pretty good.
That's it.
Is everybody who's not talking on mute?
Yeah, because whoever's outside, that's what we can hear. Whoever's behind the conversation.
Somebody, whoever's not talking, is everybody on mute? Who is? I don't know. Who has that background noise?
Nathan.
The only one that's not on mute is Nate, and he's
I
not.
was,
And I don't know where he is.
I was Reggie. I was on mute.
Nate
I don't know
has
if
bad
it's my phone,
reception.
but
Nate has bad reception.
I can't hear anything you guys saying. Is Reggie still on?
Yep, Reggie's right here.
Reggie, are you still on? All right, so I can't really. I think it might be my connection. I don't know. Can you guys hear each other? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear everybody.
Yes, I'm here.
I can hear everybody.
Here.
So you last one to join the cast. What were your thoughts about being a part of the show? I didn't hear them earlier.
I really wasn't sure like what to expect because again, because like you said, I was the last person to come on to the set. But once I met everybody at the promo shoot, everybody seemed real cool. So I actually looked forward to it. I was a little concerned, like everybody, well, like Javis rather, about showing my life, but that was about it. That was it. But it's cool.
Cool. All right. I'm having like trouble hearing some of what you guys are saying, but Candace is saying you guys can hear each other okay though?
We can.
Maybe it's my phone.
That'd be a really cool thing.
I don't know. I can't hear anything. You guys can hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really weird. All right. Well, I'll just keep asking questions and I just have to get guys to finish answering because I can't really hear anybody. Okay. So did everybody chimed in on how they felt about the episode? The main things that everybody is kind of talking about is if you guys really knew each other before the show or not. So Jarvis and Javis, I guess, who did you know prior to being on the show?
I knew of Reggie. I knew of Nathan. I knew Delvin, and my brother. That was pretty much it. Yeah. Just about everybody, almost. Really.
All right. And I know, like, you and Nathan, you guys actually went to school together, right?
Yep. Nathan, Delvin, myself, and my brother. All of us went to FAM. Rattlers, baby.
I'm trying to guess. Okay. I'm trying to guess when you finish talking. That's so weird that you guys can hear each other, but I can like barely hear you. All right. So I want to talk about episode 1, but I don't want to go too deep in it without giving too much away. So let's talk about the Men Project. First of all, how is it going so far?
The Men Project is going really good, actually. As of next week, we would have completed 6 months. So I'm really, really excited about that. Since the beginning, we've seen about 250 people And of course, weekly it kind of fluctuates, but I think we're kind of starting to plateau now. So I'm pretty happy with how it's growing.
Cool, cool. Again, y'all bear with me because I'm trying to guess like when you finish talking. So in episode 1, I know that like the guys had a lot of questions about the Man Project, and we're going to talk about it because there's much more to still come in the other episodes. So you'll see how it will kind of pan out. But I know that initially, asked you to be a part of to lead worship, so we showed like a little bit of that. But what I guess has your vision for the Men Project changed since that first conversation?
Yeah, it has actually, and that's one of the things that I always wanted to be clear of is that the Men Project is something, again, to be clear, it's not a church. It's a very organic experience. So one of the things that I noticed was with me growing up in church and me being in church and me always being in church for the most part, a lot of what I thought was the direction I needed to go in was resembling church a lot. Particularly worship is one of the things that I initially wanted to do. But then I realized, like, that's church. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I think we did it the first week, and since then, it has kind of evolved from that. Like, typically, we never have a worship set, if you will. But I'll have spoken word, or we'll have a jazz artist come in, or a soul artist. So it's just depending on who I booked for that week, but it's not necessarily directly with worship. So there are worship leaders that have come through, but it's not a physical worship set, if you will. So yeah, a lot has evolved since the first one.
Cool. Okay. So when you guys had that first conversation about the whole drinking thing, that's a conversation that I think a lot of people in church have because a lot of people have different opinions about it. And we didn't get to really see why you said you were doing that. So what was your intent behind the like having the wine piece?
Well, you know, here's the deal. Growing up in church, you know, there are certain things, particularly drinking, if you will, that I feel like what the church has done, instead of teaching people moderation, we've just said don't do it so we don't have to teach people. And, it's a sin because, it's, you know, you're going to get drunk. Well, in all actuality, as I said, the sin is drunkenness, not drinking. So that was the first piece. And once I realized as I was building the Men Project that this was not a church, and a lot of the things that we deal with and that we would probably overlook at the Men Project, churches typically would not, particularly because, well, that's a whole nother conversation. But the reason why I wanted to do it is because I don't feel anything is wrong with it. And again, it's not church, and it is a social setting. And as it has evolved, and those that come now, they'll see that it's a very different atmosphere. So it's a lot of like chat and chew type atmosphere. And so, hey, why not have wine? That was my thought. There's nothing deep about it. I didn't pray about it and go into deep detail. It's not a church. So, hey, let's do it.
Mm-hmm. So, Javis, let's go to you because you were probably the most vocal about it throughout the episode. And without kind of giving too much away, because we still have a go episodes, which again, everybody, every Monday night at 8/7 Central, a new episode will upload to DreamNationTV.com. So we've got 5 more episodes to go and have a reunion. But Javis, I guess, was that the first time you had that type of conversation with Delvin about something like that?
It was, and I think that hearing him right now talk about the evolution of men and how it's evolved, it makes a big difference in how I feel about the drinking. Because let's be clear, I never said that having a glass of wine was wrong. I was just very concerned with thinking that when it was first explained to me, you know, I was thinking a church. So I was like, I'm not really sure that a church wants to give people who are struggling with different things alcohol. But if you're saying that this is a social a social event, empowerment event, whereas you may be dealing with different things for the whole man, then I think that's different. I'm not saying that people should drink or they shouldn't drink. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I was concerned with it being an alternative for church, though it was kind of being church and alcohol being used at the same time. So that was my concern. Yeah, that's it. That was my main concern.
Cool. All right, so let's move forward from that point because I want to kind of finish up with Nathan and Demarion, who Demarion came in the latest of the dinner, so I wanted to kind of get his perspective once he came in because, of course, with the show being just a certain amount of time, we weren't able to show an entire dinner scene. We actually probably went on for another hour after what we showed in episode 1. But Reggie, from someone who was not at Delvin's place for that scene and just watching it like everybody else, what were your thoughts on their conversation about that? And I know that, you have your perspective as well, but from watching their interaction, kind of what was your perspective from seeing that scene? Is Reggie there?
Android.
Yeah,
I don't know if we lost him or not.
preaching aspect of it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. I actually was agreeing with Jarvis. I'm sorry, not Jarvis, Javis, and what he was saying about. I thought it was a church kind of thing, and so I was agreeing with Javis, but I get what Dalvin is saying now. So looking at it from the outside, and I wasn't there, I was just kind of like, wow, what's really about to happen? But yeah, that was my thought.
I'm trying to find a better signal, so I'm like all over. I'm outside now. But okay. So Nathan, Mr.
Nathan just said he couldn't get back in. I don't think Nathan can get back in. He said he couldn't get back in. I don't think he's in.
Oh, okay. Maybe he dropped off. All right, so let's go to Demarion. You came in, and you didn't know anyone that was on the cast. So
I didn't.
You came into that dinner. Like, what was well, first of all, when you came in, what were they talking about initially?
I think everybody was just kind of like doing an introduction or something like that. But, I mean, you could definitely already kind of feel the tension when you walked in. I didn't know what had already went on or had took place. So I was just, like, trying to order my sushi and stuff like that. So, yeah, you could definitely already feel the tension. But, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that's going to be the next episode, right? Like, the entire dinner.
So you had a chance to kind of sit down and talk with Dalvin prior to the event.
Oh yeah, and I did.
What was your opinion of what you saw on camera versus when you guys actually met?
Yeah, because that's another thing. I was kind of, because I didn't know any of the guys before this, so that was another thing. I think he was the first guy I sat down with, like, far as filming and everything, and it was just kind of like me watching Monday. It was the same thing like how all the viewers felt, because I was just like, oh, okay, there's a lot going on. I didn't know if we knew each other or whatever. So I just always thought he was just a cool guy. That's all I, knew. But they was just giving a whole lot. So yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, I did have a one-on-one with him during my shoot. So he did give me kind of like a fill-in on exactly what was going on. So the alcohol and stuff, whatever floats your boat. But it wasn't too much for me. So yeah.
So what I want you guys